Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar, Spread Joy and Save Money. My name is Luke Pelger. I'm here with Shamika Joseph. The topic, Spread Joy and Save Money, make it a happy and financially healthy holiday season. As we approach the holiday season, which is coming on quickly for many of us, I'm sure, how we spend, how we save through this season can have a big impact on our personal finances. So today's session will give us some tips as we move into the holiday season and what we can keep in mind with our personal finances through that. Our main presenter today is Shamika. I'd like to toss it over to you, Shamika, to introduce yourself, and she'll take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Luke. Hello, everyone. My name is Shamika Joseph, and I am a learning experience designer here at GreenPath. I've been at GreenPath for about 6 years now, and I'm excited to present today's topic to you all. We can go ahead and get started. So today we're going to be focusing on three main topics surrounding the holidays and your money. First, we'll start with how to start preparing now, strategies to spend wisely, and suggestions for creating lasting memories, and how to start preparing for next year sooner rather than later. In a perfect world, the best time to start planning and saving for the holiday season is the last holiday season, but at this point, we don't really have that option this year. So let's talk about how to start preparing for this upcoming season now, and we'll talk about how to start preparing for next year towards the end of our time together. The first step to take in creating a holiday spending plan, the first step to take is creating a holiday spending plan. Sorry, everyone. Haven't had my coffee today, which starts with figuring out how much money you have to work with. So take a look at your monthly budget or spending plan to identify how much you can afford to allocate to extra holiday spending. How much wiggle room do you have to set aside for the holiday season over the next number of pay periods until the next season begins? Are there any regular expenses that you can temporarily cut back on or pause in preparation for the holidays? So this will be really important to understand honestly and realistically as a starting point to keep yourself from getting in over your head financially during the holiday season. Consider how your normal budget categories may look and how they may look now, as well as how different they may look during the holidays. Things like groceries and gas may increase. So next, it's helpful to list out all of the extra expenses that you expect to have over the holidays. Will you be buying gifts, and for who? Will you be attending or hosting any parties or special meals? Will you be traveling over the holidays? What about any decorations and other activities that you may want to participate in during this time of year? Start by listing everything you would ideally like to be able to afford this holiday season and a rough estimate about how much each category is going to cost. Now, take a look at that list of ideal holiday season expenses and compare that to the number that you realistically have available to spend. Do they line up? And if not, you may need to make some decisions on what expenses are your priorities. Perhaps you can reuse some decorations one more year, or maybe check out the local thrift store or your neighborhood buy nothing group instead of buying things brand new. Can you cut back on the amount you plan to spend on gifts if you're unable to cut back on the number of people that you plan on buying gifts for? Or perhaps consider group gifts instead of separate gifts for each individual within a family. Do you have some flexibility on what meal you plan to serve for a large event? Or could you ask people to bring dishes to share instead? Or you can have gifts to reduce your expense and workload to the host. So you want to get creative here. There are lots of different ways to celebrate together that don't involve taking on more of a financial commitment than you can comfortably ensure. Now, if you don't have room in your budget for everything, there are community resources that may be able to help you bridge these gaps, especially for those of you who may have some little ones. There are a variety of gift assistance programs that may be able to help you have gifts to wrap and share without overwhelming your budget. So you can check with programs such as Toys for Tots, the Salvation Army, the local religious or charity groups, such as your local church or anything like that, and other adoptive family programs in your area to be able to inquire about assistance that you may be eligible for. Consider also checking with your child's school about any programs that may be available for assistance as well. There are also a variety of food assistance programs, especially during the holiday times. Many organizations will give out turkeys with all the trimmings and even a lot more. So definitely check with local food banks and nonprofit organizations to find out what food giveaways may be happening in your community and how you can get on that list. As a side note, if you are in a situation where you have some extra money to give away and don't find yourself in need of assistance, consider donating, volunteering with any of these organizations. This is a great way to spread joy and meet needs within your community during the season of giving. Now, once you have created a spending plan and have looked into ways to help you stretch the money that you have available, it's time to plan for the unexpected. As you're making your shopping list, consider purchasing an extra universal gift or two to have on hand for unexpected guests that may arrive at a function you're hosting, or maybe an extra surprise gift for someone just in case, or any last minute invitations that you may get. Having something on hand for these just in case scenarios can save you last minute stress and can also save you money if you are able to avoid frantically shopping for something last minute that may not necessarily have been in your spending plan before. So this doesn't have to be anything fancy either. This could be like a candle, a bottle of wine, box of chocolates, maybe a gift card to a local business. Choose something that you will use or find someone to gift it to if you don't end up needing it. And if you're traveling over the holidays, there may unfortunately be interruptions between the large number of people traveling and the often unpredictable weather, especially during the holiday time. So try to anticipate these potential interruptions ahead of time and ensure that you have flexibility in your budget for an extra hotel night or any additional food expenses or anything else that may come up if your holiday travel doesn't exactly go quite as you planned it. So once you have a plan, let's switch gears a little bit to talk about strategies for spending wisely. There are so many temptations to spend some more during this season, and it's ideal to head into this time with a strategy to keep your spending on track. So as you start making a gift list, be sure to do some research. There are often many different options and brands available for items, and it is definitely helpful to research and compare. Consider things like price, yes, but you also want to consider ratings, reviews, functionalities, and any other information that you can get your hands on up front to ensure that you're making a wise purchase. And shop early. It's never too early to start your holiday shopping. So start keeping an eye out for sales on items that you know that you'll need to buy. So whether that's gift or kitchen essentials that will hold up on the shelf or in the freezer until you need them. Black Friday is not the only day to find great deals anymore. So definitely start keeping an eye on some prices now and shop early if that can save you some money in the future. And have a plan. Santa's not the only one who should have a list, and check it twice. Make sure you have a clear plan for your holiday spending. It's up to you and how tight your holiday budget is to determine how detailed your plan is. Some people do want to maximize every penny and will list all of the gifts that they want to buy, all of the ingredients that they may need to purchase for the holiday meal, and will list out prices across a few stores to compare and make sure they're getting the best deal on every single holiday purchase. Regardless of whether or not you get quite that detailed, it is helpful to have a plan of what to buy, where you plan to buy it, and when. We will be providing you with a holiday budget worksheet to help you with creating that plan. And what good is a plan if you don't stick to it? As we've been discussing, there are, of course, unexpected things that may pop up, but find a method that helps you stick to your plan as closely as possible. Consider the cash envelope method for your holiday spending. So each spending category or person that you are purchasing gifts for gets their own envelope with the cash that you've budgeted in the envelope. As you make purchases, pull the cash from that specific envelope and return the change and the receipt back to that same envelope. This will help you keep track of your spending while also helps you stick to your spending plan. If you do a lot of online shopping, you can do the same thing by creating individual lists and subtracting the amount you spend to keep a running total for each category or person. If you still feel like you may be tempted to stray from your plan, consider taking it one step further and physically removing your credit card or debit card from your wallet when you go holiday shopping, taking only the cash that you have budgeted. So while this may feel a little scary at first and may take a little creativity, it can be a great way to ensure that you stay within your budget. It can also be wise to consider giving cash or gift cards. So while we can sometimes get in our own heads about cash or gift cards coming off as impersonal, Many people would prefer to have the opportunity to choose their own gift. So consider who on your shopping list would be excited to do their own shopping. So not only does this save you time and stress of choosing the perfect gift, it can be an easy way to make sure that you are staying within your budget. Buy now and pay later apps such as Klarna, Afterpay, PayPal, Pay in 4, and so many others nowadays are definitely popular apps where you can shop online and make installment payments in 4 to 6 payments instead of one large payment at once. So while this can be helpful for large holiday purchases, it's very easy to accumulate many outstanding payments that can be difficult to keep up with. Try to limit your buy now, pay later to 1 or 2 large purchases that you are certain you can maintain. Try to stick with repayments that line up with your pay periods to ensure that you are repaying and not falling behind. And finally, commit to avoid going into debt for the holiday spending. This may require some creativity, accountability, and perhaps even some disappointment, but freeing yourself from accumulating high interest credit card balances and making payments for the next year is a gift that will keep on giving. This can also help you have the funds available to set yourself up financially for the next season. There are still lots of ways to give gifts and create holiday memories without spending lots of money. If the holidays have typically involved taking on debt for you and you're ready to change that, consider making this year a reset year by spending only what you can pay for upfront. Then spend the next year spending the money that you would normally be using to pay off credit cards so you can return to your typical holiday spending next year without going into any debt. And the holidays are also a time when many families and friends come together, and many think back on the times fondly throughout the year. Whether you are looking to reduce spending or make your spending more meaningful, there are lots of great ways to create lasting memories during the holiday season. So one way to do this is consider gifting experiences instead of items. If you look around your house and know the one thing your family doesn't need any more of is stuff, this is a great giving alternative if you are overwhelmed with stuff. There's a variety of ways to do this. So whether it's a group gift that everyone can enjoy together or an individual gift that will be more meaningful and memorable than an item. So this could be something like tickets for a concert or performance, tickets to theater, anything like that, or booking a trip. Booking a trip together as a family or a friend group instead of purchasing gifts for each other, or maybe even booking a trip as a loved one's gift if you have the budget to do so. So this doesn't have to involve planes and hotels either. So like booking a day trip to a nearby town or planning to explore your own city, that totally counts as well. And consider gifting a membership to the local zoo, aquarium, or museum. This is something that a person or family can enjoy year round and create lots of memories using. And does someone on your list want to learn or refine a specific skill? Purchase a set of classes for them. Cooking, art, photography, language, dance, music, sports. There's so many possibilities here. Helping your loved ones grow a skill set is definitely an amazing gift. And if you have a sports fan or amusement park lover on your list of gift giving, surprise them with some season tickets for some maximum enjoyment throughout the year. Now, these are just a few suggestions to get your mind wandering. The possibilities are really endless here. Think about your loved ones' interests and their passions and get creative to think about the ways that you can use this gift giving season to build on those gifting meaningful experiences. And you can start new traditions. So the holiday season can also be a great time to start free or low-cost traditions. So while there are some endless possibilities here as well, some items include gingerbread house competition, or consider posting on social media for votes to determine who might be the winner. A festive holiday movie night, complete with pajamas, hot chocolate, and plenty of holiday snacks, of course. And volunteering together. The holiday season is full of opportunities to give back to your community. So you can start a tradition of volunteering together every year with an organization in your community. And there's no shortage of sweets to be found during the holiday season, which is also a great opportunity to create new traditions. You can plan an annual baking day, then take plates of treats around to share with your neighbors, and bonus points for caroling while delivering your cookies. And hop in the car turn up your favorite holiday music, and drive around to check out the holiday light displays. So you can make this extra special by always getting dinner at a favorite restaurant. Everyone wears pajamas or stopping for peppermint hot chocolate along the way. So again, these are just a few suggestions, but get creative. Talk to your family and friends about what traditions you would all like to start together. And as we wrapped up today, we want to talk about how to start planning ahead for next year too. Right now, we're about 2 months away from a month away from the kickoff of the holiday season. So that definitely expedites and potentially limits everything that we've discussed today. But the remainder of our time, we do want to focus on how to give yourself more time to ease into the future holiday season. So as you create and use your spending plan this year, make note of all of the things you'd like to be able to include or potentially increase next year. The back of your holiday budgeting worksheet will ask some reflection questions that can help you think about this. Keep this list handy as you set your goals for the next holiday season. Holiday gatherings are also a great time to start suggesting changes to how many gifts everyone buys, or ask for a volunteer to host the holiday gathering next year, as well as discuss potential travel plans with plenty of time to prepare. After the holiday season wraps up, think about how much you would like to spend next year. Since you have an entire year to prepare, now is the time to really dream big and think about everything that you would ideally like to be able to include in your holiday budget. So once you know how much you plan to spend, break that amount up over the course of a year and save accordingly. You can set up a separate holiday savings account with your financial institution, such as your bank or credit union. Sometimes credit unions do offer special holiday savings accounts. And you want to divide your holiday spending goal by the number of your paydays between now and the kickoff of the next holiday season. Then set up automatic deposits for that amount to your holiday savings every time you get paid. If you plan to travel over the holidays, booking as far in advance as possible can absolutely help you save money. You have the opportunity to earn rewards points as you can start saving up for these typically more expensive travel times. If you have a preferred airline, keep an eye on when they release their holiday flights and consider booking as early as possible, ideally with a refundable fare, just in case your plans might change, and also booking travel accommodations such as flights, hotels, rental cars, trains, whatever you may need. Planning those as far in advance as you can definitely save you money as well as saving you stress. And if there are certain gifts that you know that you would like to purchase, definitely keep an eye on for sales on those items earlier in the year. So many retailers have started offering sales that compete with, or sometimes even may exceed, Black Friday sales throughout the entire year. So this can be a great way to save money if you know what you're planning to purchase in advance. If new decor is on your wish list, hit up the Christmas after sales to see what you can buy at a deep discount and tuck that in storage away until next year. All right. And if all of those ideas may sound great to you, but you're not quite sure how to fit them in your budget, you are welcome and encouraged to call our partners here at GreenPath Financial Wellness. And we are a nonprofit organization, and we are here to help you lead a financially healthy life year-round. I will hand it back to Luke to talk about a couple of our resources.
Yeah, thank you, Shamika. Great information. We got a lot of ideas that I was able to share and chat with everybody, and I'll give some of my reactions too. This kind of spurned some great ideas for me. Before we do that, though, we will have time for questions. So if you have questions, put those into chat. We can look at those together in just a minute. As Shamika said, GreenPath is here as a resource for you as you approach the holiday season, or when you have questions about your personal finances, we can be that resource to support you. So through our financial counseling that we offer, there are different things we can talk to you about. We provide information on credit reports and scores and help you learn how to improve a score. We provide housing counseling, whether it's proactively preparing to buy a home or maybe it's responding to needs when it comes to a housing situation. We can educate on debt, give you some information on student loans, as well as things you can do with consumer debt. If you need help repaying those items down, what are some options to do that? We also have a debt management program that can support you if you have high interest debt where you have some concerns there. So feel free to utilize GreenPath services. Call us for a free financial assessment. We'll talk to you for 45 to 60 minutes, go through your budget, create an action plan, discuss options. It's great for everybody, whether it's a checkup on the situation or if there is an immediate need. Make sure that you do reach out so we can support you with that. We'll have our contact information on here in just a moment, so you can reach out through the information we give on the screen or through the organization through which you were referred to today's webinar. So wherever you found this information about GreenPath, that organization probably has contact information as well. So whether it's your financial institution or an employer or another resource, wherever you found the information for the webinar, there should also be information for contacting GreenPath now or in the future as well. Any questions, feel free to put those in again as they come through. As far as the resources that we have, we are going to be sending out some resources in the follow-up email with the recording. So we'll send a holiday budget worksheet. Feel free, if you have your phone handy, scan this QR code. We have worksheets and guides that you can access directly from the GreenPath website right now, so you can get access to that. So feel free to scan that code. A lot of great tools you can access through the website to help with budgeting or just proactive planning with your overall finances. And then here we go. And then in addition to, like static resources like a worksheet, we also have interactive resources. We have online courses through our platform called Learning Lab Plus. Again, scan the QR code here. On the website, you can find the link to Learning Lab Plus too. You can register for these courses for free and then take the courses. There are multiple courses there. We also have our podcasts and webinars on there too. It's a whole suite of financial education you can interact with on your own. A great one that we have listed here on the screen is aligning priorities, deciding which expenses are most important for you. That's something for all of us that we can always improve in, I'm sure. We all have different needs, different goals. So understanding and connecting with what your specific priorities are when it comes to money can be really helpful in the decision making and goal setting that you do. So feel free to scan that QR code, or again, when we give the information in the follow-up email, we'll have a link to the website. You can find Learning Lab Plus on the top there as one of the options on the menu. So we have time for questions. One came in here. Question is, do you have an idea for the best website to keep and sustain a budget? Is it worth opening a credit card to consolidate and defer interest? Are there any high interest savings programs for the holidays? 3 questions in one. This is great here. Shamika, if you see that, do you want to take any of these questions? I'm happy to tackle some of this too. Any initial responses, or do you want me to start?
See, let me review the question here.
Yeah.
The best website to keep and sustain a budget. As far as the best website for keeping and sustaining a budget, there is no best website, I would say. It definitely really depends on what works the best for you. I do really like the GreenPath budgeting website that we have, the worksheet that we have. It's very easy to use. So I do recommend that as a place to start. And really, also, just the method of having your budget written down in old school pen and paper is definitely a great way. That is something that I still do as far as sustaining a budget, and really visually writing down and seeing how much you have to work with each month helps a whole lot.
Yeah. And someone put into chat, and I was going to mention this too, connect with your financial institution. Many of them have either budgeting software or online banking that basically does the same thing as budgeting software. So feel free to check with your local financial institution, the organization that maybe connected you to this webinar. Check with them, see what they have as well. And there are obviously other resources outside of that. And to Shamika's point, it's very preferential as far as the platform and the the features that you want and so on and so forth. So start kind of just delving into those waters. You'll know what works for you as you get into it. The other question was, I'll tackle this one, kind of the third question in that multi-question that came in. Are there any high interest savings programs for the holidays? I'm not aware of any particular products that are high interest, so to speak. And when you're talking about short-term savings, like saving for next holiday season, you don't want to take on a lot of risk. So most savings products are going to have maybe a more modest interest rate. Again, I'd recommend Shamika spoke to this in the presentation, go to your financial institution. Just ask them, hey, I'm looking to open a holiday account or a savings account for the holidays. What do you have? What can you recommend? And they can share with you what products might be there. And then third question in that one was, is it worth opening a credit card to consolidate and defer interest? Would you like me to start on that, Shamika, or do you want to tackle that? What do you think?
That's a good question. Is it worth opening a credit card to consolidate and defer interest? I'll let you start, Luke.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I'm reading this correctly, to me it sounds like, should I open a credit card to do balance transfers or something along those lines? Depending on someone's credit situation, you may have the ability to open a new credit card and maybe have a low interest rate or a promotional interest rate for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. I don't know, what the offers might be. When you do a balance transfer, though, if someone's looking into that particular solution, though they may say the interest is 0% for a period of time, there typically is a balance transfer fee. So be aware of the fine print there of what the balance transfer fee would be. And then also what's the promotional time frame for that interest rate? Is it 0% for 6 months? Is it 12 months? And then what's the rate after that promotional period? Because maybe you're able to defer some of that interest by doing a balance transfer for a little bit, but if you don't pay off the full balance and that interest rate goes up after the promotional period, is it really a savings for you? So that's one of those things. If that's something you really want to delve into in a greater detail, that's a great opportunity for a financial counseling session with a Green Path counselor where we can look at how much debt's there, look at the different options you can explore, give some pros and cons of each, and really look at the hard numbers to see what might be appropriate there. So it's a great question in the sense of it's good for the whole group who's hearing the answer to the question and understanding there are different variables that come into a situation like that you want to explore and be very careful with as you move forward to make sure you have the right solution in place if you do have to address that. Good. I don't see any other questions. We'll have another minute or two here, maybe a couple minutes as we start to close out. So feel free to put any more items into the chat there. I wanted to share my reactions, Shamika, if that's okay, to some of your
Sure.
content. The planning ahead for next year. Love hearing that because to what you said, this is the perfect time to think about next year because you're in it right now, right? And so you're looking at the numbers, you're very aware of what the needs are, how much is being spent. So by the time the holiday season's over, you could look back in January and say, hey, I spent this amount of money this holiday season. What would it take me to save each month or each pay period in 2026 to be ready for next holidays? It's a very easy calculation. You're very aware, you're really motivated. So I loved that idea of kind of planning now for next year as well, not just looking at this year. Also the creating memories. When I think back on different holiday things that occurred, I rarely remember the presents I got. I
Yeah.
typically remember what we were doing together, the people I was with, the crazy things that happened, right? Those are the things that I'm typically thinking about more than the gifts. So I love that idea of focusing on creating memories because those typically last a lot longer than some of the physical items that we receive. Or if we do receive something, the things that I think about are the things that someone made for me or spent a lot of time and really connected with me as far as the gift giving aspect of it. So I loved those ideas. And I thank you to those that put some ideas into chat that we were able to share out. That's really great too. Oh, this is a good one that just came in. Someone shared, we donate the money that we would normally spend on gifts to the other person's favorite organization and spend time volunteering at our local organizations together. Love that. Just kind of
Awesome.
thinking about the personal connection side to that and the lasting memories for that. So great idea. Thanks for putting that in. And then someone else liked your idea of kind of starting early, Shamika. They put here, they do a bit of the spread the spending method. They start buying stocking stuffers and gifts around August and September so that it doesn't all hit in the months closer to the holiday, right? So they're spreading it out, making it a
Definitely.
little bit more manageable from a
For
money
sure.
standpoint, and I'm sure from a mental standpoint or the brain space of what gifts do I need and or what are they? You have that time to plan that out over a few months. That's great.
Definitely. I know my mom, she starts asking me what I want for Christmas in July. She'll
Mhm.
start planning way ahead.
Parents are so good about that,
Yeah.
right? And I love that. Great. So with that, we'll start to bring things to a close. If there's any final comments, questions, again, do throw those into chat. We'll put up on the screen. I believe we have one more slide, Shamika, with the contact information. Is that right? We'll throw that up. You can take note of that. Feel free to give GreenPath a call for, again, a free financial assessment, learn about your budget, get an action plan. If you do have, again, immediate concerns around credit, budgeting, housing, debt, make sure we're talking about those solutions with you. Explore the resources on the GreenPath website. All the things that we mentioned, someone put in the chat, they may be on their phone for this webinar. when you get the webinar, the same resources will be in the email. So if you weren't able to scan the QR codes, we'll make sure everything's in the follow-up email so you can access the various tools. So thank you for understanding that if you are watching on your phone currently. That being said, thank you, Shamika. Great information. I know I appreciate a lot of it. A lot of people put in chat the things they like. Thank you so much for that. Thank you to all of you for joining us. Feel free to join us for future webinars. You'll see those listed on the website. Go to the resources tab and look at the webinars. You can attend future webinars. We look forward to connecting with you in a future webinar, and we wish you a great holiday season and continued success in your financial wellness journey. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.